Welcome to Ready to Work. We are excited that your career journey has led you here. We've designed this Ready to Work program to prepare you to start work as a healthcare professional in as little as 2 to 4 weeks at absolutely no cost. Now that you've taken the first step in the application process, make sure you're officially enrolled. Complete the zero-cost enrollment and you'll be on your way. Our Ready to Work career training program will take you from the classroom straight into a job. We've teamed up with local employers to help build their healthcare team with new candidates just like you. With great pay and fantastic benefits, landing a job with our partner employers will be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. First, you'll complete the online job training to learn the foundations you need for success in healthcare. The online training has been set up to be completed anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. Step 2. Once you've completed your online courses, you'll be ready to start in-person labs. All you need to do is sign up for lab sessions held in your area. Our seasoned instructors will take you through a variety of exercises to ensure you gain the hands-on experience required to start your new job as a practicing medical assistant. In addition to attending live labs, you'll also have the opportunity for more practice through our virtual simulators. Step 3. You made it. Now the easy part. It's time to build your new resume to show ready-to-work employers you have the skills they're looking for in new hires. We'll walk you through every step to ensure you're ready to put your best foot forward and get started in your new career right away. Our learner support team is available 24/7 to help with any questions and assist with national certification and a certificate of completion from our university partners. With Ready to Work, you have everything you need to start your new career in healthcare. So what are you waiting for? Let's get ready to work. Hey everybody, welcome to our live webinar. Today I'm going to do a brief introduction of the Ready to Work program for those of you who might be new today. And then later on, we will be talking with Colleen Moran from Mass General Brigham, who's the Director of Workforce Integration and Workforce Development. She's going to be answering all your questions, and we're going to be talking to her about what it's like to work with her organization. So let's jump in. So Ready to Work, it's a completely free employment screening and qualification program from UMass Global, who is our education partner. And we work with them to take you through everything you need to know to become a healthcare professional in just as little as 3 weeks. So currently there are thousands of jobs in your area that are paying up to $20 an hour. Again, today we're going to be talking a little bit about some jobs that are available in the Boston area with Mass General Brigham. So we get a lot of questions from our learners, our candidates who say, when you guys say Ready to Work is free, what does that really mean? And what we mean, it's free, tuition free and risk free. Everything you need for the program is covered. So that means your e-learning enrollment fees, your ebooks, your virtual lab practices, your lab supplies and materials, your national certification exam is covered, as well as working with our placement team to get you placed into a job. So once you enter the program, again, if you're new, if you're on your journey, we want to go over, there's 4 really critical steps that you will complete on your Ready to Work journey. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is complete the online job training. So we have modules built in that are going to take you through everything you need to know for your in-person lab sessions. So after you start your online job training, you'll be eligible to complete your in-person lab sessions. And the lab sessions are super fun. They are taught by our seasoned instructors many of them who've been in the healthcare industry for more than 20 years. And you'll do 2 of those lab practices. From there, at the end of it, you'll take the Ready to Work qualifying exam, which basically is just an exam that goes over everything that you learned in the online content as well as in the labs. And from there, you are off to work. You are going to meet with our placement team, who is going to help you polish your resume, do some interview skills, and then we will help you apply for a job with some of our Ready to Work partners, like Mass General Brigham in the Boston area. So currently we are recruiting for health systems medical assistants with Mass General Brigham in Boston. If you're joining today from Detroit, we also have that market open as well. So again, there is a definite need for health systems medical assistants. There are many jobs open, and they are looking for people just like you who are taking the training to be qualified and who are committed and motivated and excited for a career in healthcare. So now, super exciting, we are going to have Colleen come on. And so again, to introduce Colleen, she is with Mass General Brigham in Boston, and she is Director of Workforce Integration and Workforce Development. And we are super excited that they are one of our employer partners with Ready to Work. Colleen, we are so excited to be working with you guys. You guys are our premier partner with so many career opportunities. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your organization? We'd love to learn more.
Sure, thank you. And thank you for having me. This is really exciting for us as well. Mass General Brigham is the largest private employer in Massachusetts. So we've got about 82,000 employees. And we have 16 facilities that range across the state. So there's a lot of geography, there's a lot of opportunity. Our system spans the full healthcare spectrum. So we go from acute care, which is emergency rooms and hospitals, to home care, which is sort of, you've been in the hospital, you may have gone to one of our rehabilitation hospitals if you're not able to go home right away, if you need to have a home visiting nurse or visiting therapist come into your house. And then we also have full range of outpatient services. So there's really a lot of opportunities, a lot of settings, a lot of different kinds of jobs that we offer.
That is great. And so amazing, geography, different types of jobs, that's so important. It's definitely for our candidates. So tell us a little bit more. Ready to Work isn't necessary. It's a brand new program. We know it's not how you guys normally hire, but what type of talent are you looking for, and why are you guys excited about the Ready to Work program?
So we're really excited about this program because we are looking for people who really want to interact with our patients. Our patients are we all work for the patients. That's basically, we're all here in one way or another to serve our patients. And so we're looking for people for these roles who really want to work direct care, right in touch with be the first person that somebody meets. So our medical assistants are the people when you go to the doctor's office and you first go in and they take all your vital signs and do all that kind of piece. So that kind of role. And then the patient care technician is the person really who spends the most time with a patient when they're in the hospital. So that's the person who's in and out of your room to help you with all the different activities of daily life and help you, you feeling okay? Do you need anything? All these kinds of check-ins. You meet the patient's family quite often. So there's a lot of connection that people have in that role. And that really speaks to a lot of people. But those roles, we look for someone who loves people, who has great customer service skills, who has a real interest in providing care to people. And, if it's someone who wants to be in those roles for their whole career, then that's awesome. And we're thrilled to have that. And if it's people who want to use those as a way to get their foot in the door and look at other careers in healthcare while you can learn a lot about all the different healthcare roles while you're in those jobs as well. So if you see while you're there, I want to become, this kind of a physical therapist, or I'm interested in becoming a nurse. There's all that exposure that you get as well. So, we're happy to have people do the kind of role that they want to, and we're happy to help them get there.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys really have some opportunities for upskilling and reskilling within your organization. And tell us too a little bit, why are you guys excited about Ready to Work? We believe we're helping create opportunities for people who want to enter the healthcare field but might not have had the opportunity to do that. How does Ready to Work fit in with your values and mission at Mass General Brigham?
That's a great question. What really interested us about Ready to Work is that it was you're able to get to the student who we have such a hard time getting to for our other training programs. So typically our programs are in person for 8 weeks.
Okay.
And so not everyone can take the time off of work and attend. So there's a lot of people we know who are out there who want to do these roles, want to get this training, and just life doesn't let them do that, which is the beauty of this program, is that people can work and do this when they have time and go at their own pace, and be ready to follow their dream to their next role, while they're doing their other responsibilities and taking care of what they have to do.
Yeah, I think you made a great point on that. We really designed the program to meet candidates where they are. We know everybody's busy, so we're really hoping this helps open up a door to more career opportunities. And we really appreciate that you guys have also embraced that mission as well. So let's talk a little bit more about what does the hiring process look like at your organization? Once our candidates, finish the program, what can they expect? And I mean, how many roles are you guys hiring for right now?
So we have all kinds of roles in all kinds of positions and all kinds of locations. And so the settings for our medical assistants, they could be in a doctor's office in one of our hospitals, or it could be right down the street from your house, depending on where the practices are. So those are definitely in a doctor's practice, medical setting kind of thing.
Okay.
And then the patient care technicians are hospital based. But we have, with all of the hospitals that we have, there's just multiple openings at each place. So there's so many choices, and really it comes down to what setting for someone wants. A big hospital, a small hospital. Do you want to be close to home? Do you want to go into the city? Whatever kind of interests you, we've more than likely got something to offer.
Yeah, because the right now, and I'm sure you guys are experiencing it too, we need more healthcare workers than ever before. Is that something that you guys are also experiencing? So we don't want people to think that if you finish the program, there will be a job for you.
There's a huge need. So, and I don't imagine that we're going to be filling any of that in the next 8 weeks. So, there's a lot of need. There's a lot of interest, and healthcare is one of those great stable organizations that is always going to be around. So there's always going to be need for people in healthcare for different roles. It's one of the things that interested me in joining Mass General Brigham too, because it was going to be here.
Yeah. That is true. And, I love too that you talked about, skills progression, career progression. We've had candidates that have started at this clinical medical assistant position, and just really flourished from there. And it sounds like there are the same, or even maybe even more opportunities at Mass General Brigham as well. Let's talk a little bit more about benefits now.
Sure.
I know we have a slide that we'll pull up too. So we will go to that next slide. And we have, when you and I talked, when we were kind of prepping for this, you guys have health benefits, financial benefits, and work-life benefits. So I'll let you talk a little bit about them, because when I saw the list come over, I was so impressed and so excited. So I'll let you share the good news with everybody.
Oh, thank you. That's one of the wonderful things about being part of this big organization, is that there's so many benefits that are available to you. We're able to offer so many things to our employees. So we have, like you said, medical, we have dental, vision, sort of all the standard wellness things, which makes sense because we're a hospital. We want people to be well. We want people to use their insurance and get the care that they need and that their families need. Financially, we want people to be whole and healthy. And so there's a lot of different ways that we help to either provide you with education. There's classes you can get around how to manage your money. There's 401k and retirement savings that the employer contributes to. We help people with commuting, with T-passes. There's just so many different ways, discounts on entertainment activities. That's what, kind of rolls into work life, I guess. But, time off and paid holidays and the tuition, which ties back into the upskilling that we've been talking about, and people following other interests as they want to. There's just so many different things that the hospitals offer. So it's really a great employer.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's so many different benefits that our candidates or hopefully our future hires that are listening in today can take advantage of. So again, it just goes to prove why healthcare and working for an organization like yours offers so many more benefits than just the job. It's not just about the job, but it's like you said, bringing that whole person together and making sure you're supporting that person. So that is truly amazing. And then so now that we've talked about benefits, let's switch topics a little bit. So can you, if we have people listening in today who are like, um, Colleen seems so amazing, so nice, so easy to talk to. Can you tell them a little bit about what the hiring process is like? Who they're going to hear from, how long it's going to take. What happens once they work with our job placement team. We help them get in contact with you. Then what?
Sure. So we are a big employer, so we do have the whole online process, which I know can be a challenge in and of itself. So we've built in some really nice check marks for ourselves, kind of behind the scenes that the candidates won't see, but helps us keep track of who's where in the process and how fast they're moving through. So the candidates will get instructed to register with our landing page, and then so that gets us like your first flag that we know that you're interested with us. Then you'll pass through into the big application system and choose Ready to Work as your source. So that gives us the second flag that we know that you're there and applying through this program. And then there is a behind the scenes shared spreadsheet that we are doing between Ready to Work and Mass General Brigham to be able to keep an eye on every single person who's applying, where you are in the process, how long it's been since you applied till you heard from someone. And if it's been a little bit of a delay, I can jump in and say, what's going on with this particular recruiter? Are they on vacation? Is somebody else on vacation? And so get some of that information that is so hard to find when you're applying for a job. But because we have like so many hands-on points that we can check in on everybody, there's a lot more support for moving people through than typically so.
Yeah, well, and it was music to our ears. We know that you guys are keeping track of our candidates, and then even on our end, we want to let candidates know that we'll help walk you guys through every step of the process that Colleen just mentioned. So you guys won't have to worry about forgetting a step or not marking a box, like because our job placement team will also help with that. So that is the best reason to apply through Ready to Work, because we have a great relationship with Colleen and Mass General Brigham to make sure that your resume, your application is making it through the door where it needs to go.
Yes, I'm in touch with Campus Ed multiple times a day. So it's not like it's a once a week check-in or something like that. We have a lot of communication and a lot of eyes on everything to make sure that it's just moving forward. So it's a very satisfactory relationship on my side, and then hopefully on your side as well. But it's just really great because you're there to answer questions and help figure things out.
Help move things through. Yeah. So, and again, that's why we designed the program, because it wasn't just about the skills development or finding a job. It was really, we wanted to bring those two things together. So after you've completed those 4 steps that we talked about, at the end, it's the most exciting part because you're ready to apply for a job. So how cool is that?
Yep.
And how long does your hiring process normally take?
It varies, but we know that it takes a couple of weeks because we have to do the resume screen and the screening interviews and then scheduling with a manager. And some of that can just be, when is that manager available? And so it can feel to the applicant like there's a bit of a lag, but it's probably it's sort of a behind the scenes scheduling issue. That's that. But if that's the case and they reach out to you, Campus Ed will reach out to me and we can find out what that is, which is really unique. And I think that's a great feature of this program. So it's, I would say I would plan on being maybe 3 weeks at the max. Yeah. And then our hiring process does take, from that point that a job offer is accepted, it's a 1 month process because we do health screening and background checks and all the different steps that are in the onboarding process. Because it's healthcare, there's a lot of steps.
Yes.
There's a lot of the different pieces that have to kind of be checked off before you can start. And then you just jump right into orientation and you'll be off and running.
Yeah. And, I think that's the cool part too, is that, even though there might be a couple extra steps at the beginning, this is really meant to be a lifelong career. It's meant to get our candidates and your potential hires in your organization for that long-term relationship, whether they're working as a medical assistant or going to upskill later to something else. It's really meant for that long-term and longevity of that career.
Correct.
And one cool thing I did want to mention also is when we were talking also, you were telling me about once you get to your first day, that there's a really cool thing you guys do with shadowing and things like that. Do you want to talk a little bit about what it's like on your first day? Because I know sometimes we all get first day jitters, and I think you guys have a great plan for that.
Oh, sure. So first day is definitely all the sign here, fill out your tax forms, all those kinds of, onboarding kind of pieces. And then moving through to like your first day in your actual field, there's a clinical orientation that happens. Generally, it's about a week. And then we know that people coming through this program are moving fast, and that it's 8 hours of hands-on, where some of the programs for medical assisting can be a semester of hands-on. And so the hiring managers, the clinical educators all have vetted this program and looked at all the educational materials and have approved everything. So they know that you're going to have the bricks of it all, but to be able to do some of the hands-on things may take a little bit longer, because you'll be exposed to it and have some practice, but not sort of that depth that other programs have. We know that. We are embracing that, and we are ready for that in our orientations. So if some people need a little bit longer to master the skills, then that's going to be fine. We'll provide that for you. So there is that before before you kind of let loose, then you can make sure that you've mastered these skills. And then when you get into your practice, we're going to hire you into practices where there are multiple medical assistants. So you're not the only person there, and you don't have someone to turn to and sort of shadow from, learn from, and get the training that you need to get acclimated into that practice. Once you're with us and you want to make a change, if you want to go to a smaller place where you'd be the only medical assistant, then that would be kind of a nice next move. But your first move would definitely be as part of a team.
Working with a team. Yeah. Yes. And I think, music to everybody's ears, you are going to make sure everybody feels empowered to be on the floor, to be working with patients. And really, be ready to succeed. You are setting everybody up for success. That is 100%. And once they come out of the program too, like as you mentioned, they're going to have all of the building blocks that they need for the job. But you guys just might have some extra things to make them feel even more comfortable and even more successful. So I think that is wonderful. And again, it takes a lot of the first day jitters off the table.
Right.
And Colleen, what else did I miss? Is there anything else important that you want to mention, or if not, we can open it up for questions as well.
Sure. I just want to say it's a wonderful organization. I've actually worked here since 2001, which I never expected when I came. I was like, oh, I'll be here 5 years and then go someplace else. But there's so much happening in healthcare that's really interesting, and there's so many opportunities to move around in our system that I've been able to do it a number of different roles before coming into the job that I have, and I see that in colleagues and in people that I've hired, and it's just so. It's one of the best parts of my job is seeing that people who have been hired from new into something, and it's a new area for them and challenging, and they can say, you can watch them move through that job and master it, and then see where they go next. And that's just like the beauty of it all. So that's one thing I really like with this place.
Yeah, and you being there also for that long. I'm trying to do the math in my head. Is that, close to 22 years-ish?
22 years. Yeah.
So, I mean, you have really seen it all. And I think that is a true testament to what a great organization is. Because when you see employees staying for that long, good things are happening. So
Right. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because it's just such a it's a very dynamic place. So there's a lot of change and a lot of interesting things happening and a lot of opportunity.
yeah, well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you've been there for that long and also have seen so many cool things happen.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, if there's nothing else I missed, do you want to should we go into questions?
That would be great.
Okay, cool. All right. So our first question is coming in from, I'm seeing it should pop in from Felix, and they're asking, would someone get a certificate as a medical assistant after being hired? So, Colleen, I'll take this one because this kind of kicks in with our 90-day policy with Ready to Work.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is after you've been hired with one of our Ready to Work partners like Mass General Brigham, we start what we call the 90-day clock or the 90-day countdown. So that just means that you need to stay employed with one of our hiring partners with Mass General Brigham for 90 days. After that 90 days is up, then you will get your certificate of completion, and you'll also be able to sit for the national certification exam. And as long as you stay hired again for that 90 days, your cost for that exam will be covered by Ready to Work. So it's all rolled into one. But that 90 days is important. Let's see what else we got popping in here. All right. Okay, so they're asking, so when we go in for a lab session, how much do we need to have done from the online program? So we recommend that candidates complete around 50% of the online programming before you go into lab. So this just will help you prepare for everything that you need to know in labs and everything that they're going to teach you, which is going to give you a little bit more of a foundation. But, lab seats are limited, so we want it to work with your schedule. So if you're not quite to that 50% or you are over 50%, definitely still sign up when you see that alert come out from us. Great question. All right. What else do we got coming through? They're saying, I signed up for the program last month, but can I still do the program? Yeah, of course. You have access to our online programming for 6 months. So you can start anytime, move at your own pace. We really designed this program to meet our candidates and our learners where they're at, but definitely get started. My team's going to drop the link in the chat so you guys know exactly where to go to start it up again. And then we did also want to mention, if for some reason you don't remember where you left off, you can always contact learner support, and we'll be able to look at your account and kind of make sure you pick up exactly where you left off. Great question. Let's see, who else do we have popping in? What other questions do we have? Okay, so we have a question coming in about labs. How can we view the scheduled labs? You guys will receive a text invitation from our lab. You'll receive a text invitation, and in that invitation, you'll be able to click on it and sign up for different lab slots. So make sure you sign up when you get the text message. Again, seats are limited, and if for some reason you have to cancel, no big deal. We do ask though that you cancel so we can make sure to fill that seat with another candidate. Great question.
These questions are great.
Yeah, I know. We have a lot of people that are working the program, and so they are in it and they are ready for the next step.
Yeah.
So Lydia was wondering about location requirements. So right now, Mass General Brigham is hiring in the Boston area. So Colleen, do you want to talk a little bit more about your locations around Boston?
Sure. So we're hiring basically across the state, which is great. So most of our locations are in Eastern Massachusetts. We have our big hospitals that are Mass General Hospital and the Brigham and Women's Hospital, and then we have those are two very large academic medical centers, which some people love that energy and excitement, and for some people they want to be someplace that's smaller and more specialized. We have Brigham and Women's Faulkner Hospital. We have Newton Wellesley Hospital. We have in the city, we have Mass Ioneer. We have Spalding Rehabilitation Network, and they've got multiple locations around the city. And then we have McLean, which is in Belmont. And then, further afield, we've got a rehab hospital in the Cape. And then we have a number of outpatient facilities, like anywhere kind of beyond all that. We also have a location in Northampton, Mass, which is Cooley Dickinson Hospital. And they're also hiring in their hospital and in sort of their surrounding doctor's offices and that sorts of things too. So lots of opportunities.
Really, the possibilities are endless. Really,
they are. Yeah. It's really like whatever setting you're looking for.
Yeah,
will have something. Yes.
Yeah, and I love too, like that. So many different locations, and people can really target it to like what fits it for them. If for some reason, they live an hour away from a hospital, but it's on their way to something else that they do, like dropping their kids off at school or daycare, it can all be convenient to your life, which is a major plus.
Yes, really great. And some of that scheduling really works too, because particularly with the some people want a day job. And so the medical assistant roles are typically regular doctor's office hours, so very much of a day job. Other people who want to work on shifts, that's the patient care technician. So if you want to work, evenings or overnights or days, we have all that available as well. So there's a lot of options.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't talk about too is I believe you guys are hiring for full-time and part-time as well, right?
Yes. So part-time, our benefits start at 20 hours a week, which I think is a really nice thing. And all of our benefits start on your first day of employment, no matter if you're full-time or part-time. So that's really great too. We always encourage people, the more hours you can get, the better. So if you just learn more and you become part of the fabric. So, as much, if you want to apply for full-time or even like a 3/4, like a 32-hour, the more hours that you can be on site, the more you'll learn and the more you'll be able to feel, confident and ready and really get into it.
And I think it's super unique too that your benefits start at 20 hours. I mean, sometimes that's not the case. So that is a great add-on for anybody who might be looking to start part-time and then add hours on as they're able to do it as well.
Right. Yeah, that's a nice feature.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see if I know we had some more questions come in while we were going over that info. Let me see who's next on our list. Okay, so Pam is wondering if they can take the standard labs and advanced labs on the same day. That is absolutely yes. Whatever fits your schedule. A lot of our candidates do that because they can get it done, all in one day. But if for some reason you're only able to come to labs in the morning or afternoon, that's fine too. You can split it up into 2 days as well. And then my team in the background too, we have our team in the background who's helping me with questions. They wanted me to let everybody know that we're also working on incorporating some weekday schedules too. So make sure you keep an eye out on your text messages as well, as we have more information on those lab sessions also. Okay, so, all right. So the next question I'm seeing is asking of how many lab sessions trainings do we have to do? Answer is 2. So you have standard and advanced, and they're about 4 hours each. And then it says, how do we find a partner to work for during the 90 days? So we will set you up with our ready to work partner for those first 90 days. So even though you're waiting those 90 days for your ready to work certificate of completion, you are a full-fledged employee with Mass General Brigham or whoever you're working with. As Colleen mentioned, your benefits start on day 1. You'll be going through their onboarding process. The only thing you're waiting those 90 days for is your certificate of completion and to be able to sit for that national exam. So we will help place you with our employer partner, and then that 90-day clock will start. Great question. I know there's always a lot of questions about the 90 days. So Alexandra says, I already have a PCT and a medical assistant student and only need an internship to finish. So they're asking, is it possible to get hired without the clinical? So we, based on this, we have a program called the Fast Track program within Ready to Work. And that's designed for students or learners who might have already have some healthcare or medical background experience, like you. So Alexandra, definitely reach out to our learner support. And I'll have my team, if my team could drop in the learner support email in the chat, that would be great. Also, if you go to our website, you can open up a chat with them and chat with them right away. And we will talk to you about the Fast Track program and figure out if you qualify for it. Basically, the Fast Track program allows us to look at your skills and do some skills assessments to figure out where you're at in the process, and how we can help use what you've already learned and apply it to the Ready to Work program. Great question. Let's see who's coming in next. Okay, so let's see what we want to put on the screen. Okay, so they're saying they applied and they're doing a bunch of lessons, and then what's next? Okay, so I think you're talking about the online content, online modules. So right now you're probably working through all the lessons that are in our online learning content, which is awesome. So once you finish some of the online content, again, we recommend you're about 50% through that online content, then you can do your labs. So those are in person. They're super fun. You're going to learn all the hands-on things that you need to know, like how to, reading EKGs, taking pulses, taking vital signs, and things like that. So keep an eye out for lab signups when they come out. And it sounds like too, Colleen, some of the stuff that they're learning in labs, you guys are also going to do
yes, in orientation
as well, during orientation. So they'll get another dose of it as well, which is great.
Right.
Okay, so we have EMR certified and work for Brewster Ambulance. Okay, so Joseph, you might also qualify for a Fast Track program if you have some of that healthcare background. So again, contact learner support. readytowork@campused.com is the email. We'd love to talk to you and figure out how we can apply some of your skills to Ready to Work and get you moving through the program. So we can make sure that your skills line up with what we're teaching and what Mass General Brigham is also looking for. Great question. All right. So Angela's asking how long they have to complete the online program. So we recommend that you complete the program within 6 months. It should be completely doable. The way that we have it set up, where you're able to work on it anytime, anywhere on your schedule. You can log in from your mobile phone if you have 20 minutes and you want to do some of the lessons. You do have to do those labs in person, but we're going to have so many different signups that you should be able to get in on some of those. So great question, Angela. All right. I think we have a question coming in for Colleen.
Great.
So Diana is asking, if we're hired into a specialized department, is it flexible position, different departments, I think they're maybe asking if they move around a little bit or if it's just
like a float kind of thing. So, so you were actually, you will apply for a job in a particular department and then you'll stay like in that department. So you really get to know what's happening there. As you gain more experience, if you want to apply for a float kind of role, if you're interested in kind of doing something that moves through, then you'd be able to do that. But as a new hire, a new grad, you do really well to stay in one group and really specialize.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes back to what you were talking about, Colleen, about really starting with that team of people that you're going to see, day to day, and you're going to work really closely together with them. And then as you get that experience, whether you move to an office where you're the only medical assistant or you become a floater, definitely options there.
Right. Good question.
Yeah, I love that question. Okay, so They're asking, can somebody with medical experience be hired as a medical assistant without their certificate and have it in the 90 days you were talking about? So basically, you want to work through us in order to have that, to get your certificate of completion after that 90 days. So the benefits of working with the Ready to Work program is, you know you're going to have the skills needed to be successful at a Mass General, Brigham, like with one of our hiring partners. And then we also have direct relationships with Mass General, Brigham in Boston. We have relationships with other people in Detroit, other hiring partners in Detroit. So if you don't work with us, we're not able to help kind of transfer some of those benefits over to you. So that's why we really recommend working with us. If you already have medical experience, the Fast Track program is available to you as well. And then I did want to also remind you guys that in addition, at the end of those 90 days, not only do you get your certificate of completion, but you also get to sit for the national exam, which again, that cost is covered by Ready to Work if you go through our program. But great question. You guys have had some good questions.
There's a lot of questions that keep coming. It's great.
I know. I'm seeing them in the chat. I'm seeing them come through the chat as well. Okay, so Rose is saying that they are in the medical assistant program and want to take the PCT. So let me see what my team is saying back there. So you're welcome to switch programs, but we'd really like you pick one so you can concentrate, in that area. You also have the option of doing both programs as well. So definitely think about what might be a good fit for you and, the kind of job you're looking for. And I know, Colleen, you guys are currently hiring for both positions, correct?
Correct. And then the thing that's unique about each of those, I like your suggestion of taking both. One is outpatient and one is inpatient, and they're separate roles. And so you wouldn't really necessarily be able to do one with the training of the other. So if you are interested in both, then it's a wonderful opportunity to try both.
Yeah, and you can get even more sort of healthcare skills in the meantime if you do both of them. So.
Oh yeah, and that could maybe really help you figure out which one you like best.
Yeah, definitely, because inpatient, outpatient can definitely be two different experiences.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Rose. All right. So we had a question, I think, coming in on Tatiana says that they finished all their lessons before they start the labs. So yes, you can definitely finish all your online lessons before you come to labs. That is not a problem at all. It'll help even prepare you for what you're going to learn in labs. But if you have completed all your lessons, keep your eye out on those text messages to sign up for labs. Awesome. All right. Let me see. I'm going to scroll down. I'm seeing. Okay. There is a mobile app to access the online content. So all the online content is available on all devices. So wherever, if you're on your iPad or mobile device, laptop, desktop, it is available for you. And then, Colleen, we did just have a question come through about, can you talk a little bit more about the difference between inpatient and outpatient and kind of what that means?
Yes. So inpatient is like you're in the hospital, so you're in the bed, and so everything goes by beds. So you'll hear a lot about that. Like, we can't put you in because we don't have a bed. You got to wait for a bed, so then we can admit you. So that's the whole inpatient experience. So you're staying over, and there's a big piece of that that's like a hospitality piece as well. So that customer service, because you're staying over, so sort of like that hotel guest, kind of not really a hotel, but overnight, and making sure that people are comfortable and all those kinds of pieces, as well as sort of the clinical care that goes along with an inpatient person. So outpatient is also called ambulatory. Some people, you'll hear that as well, and that's people who can get themselves in and out. So ambulatory is referring to walking, but you don't have to, people in wheelchairs or whatnot can also be ambulatory patients. But that's where you go in for a treatment or see your doctor, and then you leave and don't stay over. So that's all the sort of like 1-day procedures or shorter visits that are getting your eyes examined or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Yes.
No, that makes sense. And are places like a rehab facility, are those considered inpatient or outpatient?
That's also inpatient.
Okay.
If you're staying over, so in the rehab hospitals. But if you're going for like a physical therapy appointment, like a sports medicine, I hurt my knee running and I'm going to go, then that's outpatient.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks for going over that with us.
Sure.
All right. Okay, so Anna is asking, are the job postings that you apply through on the career site or a separate website portal?
They're real jobs on the MGB Mass General Brigham career site. So, yep.
Right it's all going to be done through the MGB application site.
Yeah.
Though the only thing we do want to mention is that you do want to work with our job placement team when you're ready for the application, because Colleen talks about the certain different flags and being able to mark really looking for the candidates that are marked ready to work. So we'll also help you prepare your resume. We'll help you with different badges and skills we're going to help put on your resume that Colleen's team is really looking for. So yes. You will use the Mass General Brigham website to apply, and then our team will also be there helping you to make sure that we're helping move you along through that process as well.
Right. We've really prepped our team to be ready to recognize candidates from ready to work. So we want to make sure that you're captured in there.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, so they're asking about, AR is asking about labs. And yes, so great question. We can always explain everything again. Our labs, we move them around different various locations around Boston. So the last one is in Brookline, then Back Bay, and then we'll be moving around the city and around the state. So just keep your text messages on from us, and then we'll send you that information. We're also hopefully going to be launching some during the week, because again, we're really trying to make it fit everybody's different schedules. So awesome question. We really just want to make it work for you. So we'll move the locations around. We'll also move the dates around as well. Okay, so Laura says that if you're already a certified medical assistant, you still qualify this program. Is this program a refresher course? So Laura, you would most likely qualify for our fast track program. And our fast track program basically takes people that already have healthcare experience, like you, if you're already a certified medical assistant, and then we'll help polish your resume. We'll do a skills check with you, a skills assessment to make sure you have all the skills needed that Mass General Brigham is also looking for. So we'll do that skills check assessment with you. And then we'll figure out where we can best place you in the program, whether that's a qualifying exam at the end or doing some brush up on some labs, a couple of the online content. We really tailor it to where we feel like each candidate is, if they already have healthcare experience like you do. And then we'll be able to faster connect you with Mass General Brigham and get you through the hiring process as well. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. So the advanced and normal lab would count as the 2 in-person labs that we need to extend to start the hiring process. Yes, so the advanced lab and the normal lab, I can't remember what the first lab, those are the 2 lab sessions that you need for the hiring process. That is correct. Let's see what other questions we have coming through. So after the labs, are we able to work? Yeah, so it depends. So if you've finished your online content and the labs, then you'll take that qualifying exam. And from there, that's when we hook you up with our hiring team to then route you through the application process with Mass General Brigham, or if you're in Detroit, our other hiring partners. So after you've completed the online content and your labs, and you've completed the qualifying exam, which is basically an exam that goes over everything you learned in labs and the online content, then you'll be ready to work. Great question. What is the dress code for in-person lab sessions? So we actually give you scrubs for the lab session, so you do not need to worry about what to wear. We'll have that covered for you as well. Great question. And then assume, Colleen, do you guys have a dress code at Mass General Brigham? I assume it's
yes. So that will all be covered in your interview process. Feel free to ask about that. What do you need to wear? Most in these roles, people wear scrubs. We always recommend wearing something really comfortable on your feet, like sneakers, because you're all over the place all day long. But yes, we will definitely let you know what you need to have on.
Awesome. All right. After finishing the online classes and we do the lab, then we're able to work and starting the 90 days. So, okay, so let me kind of go over this. So you do the online classes. So I'll kind of go over the 4 steps that we kind of talked about. So you do your online content, check done. Then you'll do your 2 labs, 2 lab sessions. After you complete the online content and do your 2 lab sessions, you'll take a qualifying exam. So that exam means that you've learned everything that you need to know to be able to have the skills necessary to apply with Mass General Brigham. And normally that qualifying exam is not a problem because you've done all the work already. You already have it in your brain. Then from there, you'll be able to work with our hiring team to apply and start working with Mass General Brigham. And then once you're hired, the 90 days starts with ready to work. But the good news is you are an official employee with Mass General Brigham. They do not have a 90-day clock. The clock is on the ready to work program side because we want to make sure that you're successful in your job, you've gained the skills that you need, and that you're ready to then sit for that national exam and also get your certificate of completion as well. How new is Ready to Work? How long has the program been running? So we first launched the program in Detroit about, I'm trying to think when we launched it, but about, I'm looking for my team, but I believe we launched it back in the winter. And the reason we launched the program then is because, with we saw this huge need for working with employers and working with students and our university partners to bring skills together, to bring the job together. And that's how we decided to launch the program. And so it really was a great fit in Detroit. And then that's why we decided to launch it in Boston. And we're hoping, again, we'll be able to launch more cities as the year continues. All right. So how is this for someone who has a CNA certificate and has worked as a CNA? Let me find some information. I'm from my team right here. Sorry, I'm trying to. Hey, team in the background. Colleen, do you want to talk about this one?
Sure. If someone has a CNA, I don't mean to turn you away from this program, but you can apply for positions with a CNA. So so that's exciting. So so take a look and see if there's something there that interests you. The PCT and the CNA are very similar. The CNA just has a different skills component.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And on our end, contact learner support. And again, we'll help link you up with Mass General Brigham. So if you already have that CNA certificate, we'll help drive you through those jobs. You'll work with our fast track team as well, and we'll help get you to where you need to go. But if you have a CNA certificate, you should be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, that would be terrific.
All right. Okay, so
I can
yeah.
speak to that one if that's helpful.
Yeah.
So we are also, so similar to the CNA, we're looking for people with animal care. If that's what you're looking to do, certainly I would say contact learner support and get all your ticks and ties with ready to work. But we have positions available in the animal care positions in several of our locations. So we'd really interested in anybody who's interested in that also.
Okay. Colleen, you're not joking when you say you guys have positions across the board.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. So
yeah.
Awesome. And for our EMT who spoke earlier, we also have an ambulance service. So if that person's interested in coming to work with us as an EMT, then contact learner services and we'll happily see what's available for you as well.
That sounds great. I mean, and also, like, as we talked about before, there's so many different ways you can take your healthcare career.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether you have the animal medical background or the EMT or the CNA or, and then it's all can come together into a fabulous career.
So much in healthcare.
I know, it's really amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm amazed right now, actually. This is awesome. Okay, so they are saying they're sorry they're late for the labs. I'm sorry, I'm reading your question. We would choose 2 labs, count towards the 2. And yeah, okay, sorry. I was reading that question really fast. Okay, so you need to do 2 different lab sessions. So you'll have the regular lab session and the advanced lab session, and those would count towards your 2 in-person labs. They're normally about 4 hours each lab session. So, you could do some people do it in the morning and then in the afternoon, but we will be scheduling different locations all over the Boston area. So keep an eye out for text messages. Great question. All right. Okay. This is a good one, definitely for Colleen to talk through the interview process.
Sure. So I would expect 2 interviews in the process. You would probably hear from the recruiter first and have sort of a, ask some questions about the position. They'll ask some questions about you, but use that opportunity to ask a lot of questions that you want to know about the job, hours and schedule and expectations, any of those kinds of things. And then you'll meet with the hiring manager. The person that you would report to on the position would be the second position. And again, ask everything you can think of because you want to make sure that this is the right fit for you as well. So bring your list and don't be shy.
Yeah, I love that. And I think you made a great point. This is about career. This is about longevity. So we want it to be amazing fit for Mass General Brigham and also amazing fit for the candidate.
Yes.
So
yes.
As many questions as possible, even asking questions about locations and different inpatient, outpatient settings.
Yeah. Anything that you can think of and don't feel like it's a stupid question. There's never a stupid question because if you're wondering, then it's a question you need to know.
Yeah. So I'm amazed, but we were at the hour. We had so many questions coming through today. If you haven't applied yet, my team is dropping in the information on where you can apply if you're in Detroit or where you can apply if you're also in Boston. Colleen, it was a really big treat to have you on today and talk about what it's like to work at Mass General Brigham, what our learners can expect. We hope this energized everybody, and everybody definitely keep working on the program. There are open positions. They're waiting for you. So
I'm so excited to be here, and I really appreciate you inviting me, and really hope that there's anybody out there who's listened and attended and decided that this was the right place for them. And we look forward to seeing you, first as a student, and then coming through as an applicant. So this is, well worth people's time so that they could learn what they needed to know and make the right choice.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for attending today. We'll be announcing when our next live sessions are soon. So again, keep your eye out on text messages. Thank you, Colleen. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Welcome to Ready to Work. We are excited that your career journey has led you here. We've designed this Ready to Work program to prepare you to start work as a healthcare professional in as little as 2 to 4 weeks at absolutely no cost. Now that you've taken the first step in the application process, make sure you're officially enrolled. Complete the zero-cost enrollment and you'll be on your way. Our Ready to Work career training program will take you from the classroom straight into a job. We've teamed up with local employers to help build their healthcare team with new candidates just like you. With great pay and fantastic benefits, landing a job with our partner employers will be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. First, you'll complete the online job training to learn the foundations you need for success in healthcare. The online training has been set up to be completed anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. Step 2. Once you've completed your online courses, you'll be ready to start in-person labs. All you need to do is sign up for lab sessions held in your area. Our seasoned instructors will take you through a variety of exercises to ensure you gain the hands-on experience required to start your new job as a practicing medical assistant. In addition to attending live labs, you'll also have the opportunity for more practice through our virtual simulators. Step 3. You made it. Now the easy part. It's time to build your new resume to show Ready to Work employers you have the skills they're looking for in new hires. We'll walk you through every step to ensure you're ready to put your best foot forward and get started in your new career right away. Our learner support team is available 24/7 to help with any questions and assist with national certification and a certificate of completion from our university partners. With Ready to Work, you have everything you need to start your new career in healthcare. So what are you waiting for? Let's get ready to work.